check. something. I'm now calling to order a regular meeting of City Council, Tuesday, February 24th, 2026 at 7 p.m. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Madam Secretary.
Councilwoman Rogancy.
Here.
Councilwoman McGee.
Here.
Councilman Dwyer.
Here.
Councilman Noonan.
Here.
Councilman Lafferty.
Here.
Councilwoman Moore is present. Councilman Boyke is absent. Motion to excuse.
Support to excuse the absent member.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Mr. Boyke is under the weather today, so we thank him for not sharing his illness with us.
Next item.
Next item is adoption of the consent agenda. So moved.
Support Lafferty with discussion.
Discussion, Mr. Lafferty.
Thank you. Minor correction to item 4O, the reappointment of Joe Alter. She is being reappointed to the Village Historic District Commission as opposed to the Historical Commission.
Thank you.
Mr. Lafferty, are you removing an item?
No.
Oh, we're on
On the
consent.
agenda.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is adoption of the agenda. So moved with discussion.
Support Lafferty with discussion.
Discussion, Ms. Moore.
I was just, 11D is being removed. Is that what you were going to do, Mr.?
12D, my item concerning
Yeah,
the appointment of Jeffrey
right,
Milk.
right.
Yes.
That's what I was going to take. Is that it?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I was going to do.
Should I state the reason? Okay.
So,
Any other discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. Ms. Moore?
yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 6A, calendar of pending matters. Motion to receive and file.
Support Lafferty.
Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is approval of the bills of the general revenue funds. So moved with no discussion.
Support Lafferty with no discussion.
Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. The next item.
Next item is approval of the bills of the water and sewer systems. So moved.
Support Dwyer.
Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Madam Chair, I need to go back and add an item to the agenda, if I might.
Okay.
It is tentative agreement with the professional firefighters, 1383 bargaining agreement. And that will be added as 11B.
So, a new motion, Mary?
To
To
amend,
add-
motion to amend.
Okay, thank you.
I'll support Lafferty.
Thank you. We're adding 11B. Any discussion? Okay, we'll call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 7C, general fund revenue report for November 2025. Motion to receive and file.
Support Lafferty.
Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is the general fund expenditure report for November 2025. Motion to receive and file.
Support Lafferty.
Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next item.
Next item is E, General Fund Revenue Report for December 2025. Motion to receive and file.
So moved. Support Lafferty.
Discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next item.
7F, General Fund Expenditure Report for December 2025. Motion to receive and file.
Support Lafferty.
Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 7G, General Fund Revenue Report for January 2026. Motion to receive and file.
Support Lafferty.
Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
7H, General Fund Expenditure Report for January 2026. Motion to receive and file.
Support Lafferty.
Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 8, audience participation for agenda items only.
Members of the audience who would like to address City Council this evening relating to agenda items only may do so under this portion of the agenda by filling out an audience form on the right side of the stage. There, as a reminder, you have 3 minutes, and there is a timer here. First up is Dennis Nowak, and then after Mr. Nowak is Rob Roberts, and then Ms. Harris. Oh, try.
My name is Dennis Nowak, and I'm here today to discuss the rules and regulations from the Division 9 ordinance, specifically Section 2-255.1 Rules and Regulations. It says, the Housing Commission, subject to approval of the City Council, shall adopt and promulgate reasonable rules which establish, 1, eligibility requirements for admission to housing. And right now, that has been in there for many years, that rule. Unfortunately, at one time, it used to be part of the requirement for Stillwell Manor, and it was even in their website. For some reason or another, about 5 years ago or so, I'm a little rough on the time, Sean Clark, who's a director, removed this requirement. It's not fair to the residents of Warren, because now we have people coming in from Mississippi, Arizona, Ohio, and people in Warren, they have to take a back seat. This should have never, ever, ever been removed from the requirements for Stillwell. And unfortunately, Mayor Stone was aware of this, and because during her listening tour on June 24th at Stillwell Manor, June 24th, 2024, I pointed this out, and it was still ignored, which is not surprising. The other issue, real quickly, since time is running out, when it comes to overseeing comp time, it was mentioned in the February 10th meeting that the HR manager or Mr. Fox from the controller's office could oversee the comp time for Sean Clark. The only problem is they're not aware of the fact that a Warren Housing Commission meeting never takes 4 hours. And besides that, since going to a Warren Housing Commission meeting should be part of his duties, I don't know why he's giving himself 6 hours of comp time. It just doesn't seem right. I mean, he's making $109,000. You can see the website, the city website. So why should he be charging 6 hours of comp time to attend a 1 hour meeting? It's not fair. And the other issue that I have is, well, there's several issues. Another issue is he has 2 full-time jobs. One as the Sioux City Musketeer hockey team, minor league hockey team, as general manager, and also working at Stillwell. I think there should be some kind of forensic audit of his time, because there's no way he can work for Stillwell Manor at 100%.
You're at time. Thank you. Next is Rob Roberts.
Rob Roberts, 32125 St. Vincent. On 12/19/2025, I was on my way to the Secretary of State for a 9:40 appointment. I accidentally said 12:40 on the body cam video. I think everyone saw the police officer and slowed down. I didn't, and was going the speed limit. This may be why he thought I was speeding, or he doesn't like electric cars because he made a comment about it causing me to speed. They have speedometers. After I told him I wasn't speeding, he said I was driving too fast for road conditions and didn't use my turn signals twice on the ticket, contradicting himself on the body cam, admitting I did use all of my
Sir,
turn signals.
my apologies. This isn't related to an agenda item.
Oh, no, so is this for later? Did I fill out
Correct.
the wrong
Yep. So
form?
I will call you. No, you didn't fill out the wrong form. I just didn't, there was some miscommunication here and I didn't catch it. So
Okay.
you can be called up at the end when it's general topics. Sorry about that. Next is Lori Harris. And then after Lori Harris is Pamela Watson.
Hi, Lori Harris. I'm here at this time about two items. One is 11B, the ADA plan. Let's see, where is that? No, that's 13A. And sorry about that. I went to the ADA presentation and was eager to see the additional things that were going to be added, especially a timeline. And I noticed in the e-packet that nothing is different from what we saw at the presentation. So I hope that that's part of the presentation tonight. But I'm also wondering why one of the very first things that we could do for the city is to make the city website, the library website, ADA accessible. My understanding, it is not that hard to put that program on the website, and that's the very least that we could do for people so that it could read things on the website. People can access it. If you see the little blue guy on any website you go on, I mean, if DTE can do it, the City of Warren can do it. If Big Boy's Restaurant can do it, the City of Warren can do it. So we need to do that. That needs to happen. And I brought it up at the budget meetings the last couple years, and why it's not getting done, I don't understand. So that needs to happen for ADA. And also, we need to figure out how to let people participate who are homebound or in some way unable to get here to participate in city council meetings, planning, Zoom. So that also needs to be, we need to get on the ball for this. The second thing I wanted to talk about is the reappointment of, this is G, 13G, reappointment of Rita Shutran and Aaron Shutran to the Commission of Disabilities. I admire their determination to want to do something good for the city, but Rita's been there for over 20 years maybe, but a very long time. And these appointments are not supposed to last 20 years. And when I've gone to these meetings, which I've done for off and on for 6 years, nothing's really happening. Having an autism display in the library in April is, you know, the library is full of things about autism. So we need this group of people to really advocate and support even what Tony Baker's been doing. They need to advocate for this accessible website for the city. So I would ask you to not reappoint them, and let's hope that we can get more people dedicated on this commission. Thank you.
Next is Pamela Watson.
Hello. I apologize for my handwriting. My name is Patricia. Not
sorry about
Pamela. But hi, my name is Patricia, and I'm on the agenda item as to be appointed into the Beautification Commission for Warren. I have 10 years, over 10 years of agricultural experience on a professional level. And I just wanted to introduce myself to you guys. I unfortunately won't be able to stay after the meeting, as my kids have an 8 p.m. bedtime. But yes, I just wanted to introduce myself because I interviewed with Lori Stone for the Beautification Commission, and just tell you some of the things that I care a lot about. And so some of the things I care about is waste mitigation, allowing people who have their residences to garden and be able to engage in self-sustainability. I know that Warren is one of the cities that have issues with sometimes food security. Oh, and speaking of, sorry, I moved into Warren in May. I bought my first house in February, and I immediately said that I wanted to get involved with my city on an agricultural level, on a food security level. This is what I love to do. And so I met with Lori Stone, and that's how I got appointed. So yeah, I just really want this city to be able to engage in waste mitigation and, like I said, food security. I want us to be able to be proud of having beautiful homes, adding more flowers, not just to our homes, but also to some of our streets and roads. I live off of DeQuinder. I think that things can be done to make areas look much more beautiful than they do now. Not that they don't. There are plenty of beautiful places in Warren, but I feel like when we go outside, we should be able to look out and say, wow, my city is beautiful on an aesthetic level. I am able to be self-sustainable at home, or even for Warren to have a hub that helps us gain further food security, whether that be in the form of a farm or community gardens, or working with other community institutions such as Urban Seed, for example, which operates in Warren. Those are the things that I really care about. So I appreciate the mayor for appointing me to the position. I agriculturalist on a professional level in farming. You can reach out to me at Patricia Orleana, that's Patricia Orleana, ORLEANA, @gmail.com. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And just to let you know, you were on the consent, so we approved the consent agenda, so you've been appointed. We approved your appointment. Yeah.
Yay.
Thank you.
Welcome to beautification.
Next is Amanda Micah.
Good evening. Just a point of correction, consent agenda item 40 or 40. Joe Alter, she's actually serving on the Historic District Commission. So it's no longer known as the Village. This is due to an ordinance change that occurred last year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Didn't we make that correction? We did.
Okay. That is the end of audience, unless anyone is holding a form. Okay. Next item.
Next item is announcements, Madam Chair.
Yes.
And Ms. Micah, we did make that correction at the adoption of the agenda. The FOP asked if I would remind folks and invite those that don't know about this. On March 14th, Saturday, at 4 p.m., there is a euchre tournament at the FOP Hall on 14 Mile. The tournament starts at 6 p.m. There are cash payouts for first, second, third, and last place. And there's raffles, 50-50 raffles, gift basket raffles. I stopped by there last year. It's a really, really nice event. It's $35, and the partners are randomly picked. And if you are interested, you may register online at www.fop124.com. And I will put the QR code on the Facebook page. Thank you. That's it for me.
Ms. McGee?
I have one item. On this coming Saturday, the 28th of February, will be the Black History Month celebration for the city of Warren. It will start at 12 o'clock from 12 to, I believe it's till 4. 12 to 4. There will be over 40 vendors that will be attending, and it will be at the Warren Community Center, and so we welcome all to attend. That's all I have.
Thank you. I wanted to congratulate the Warren Woods Tower girls basketball team, who won their first district championship since 2008, rallying past Clausen in overtime.
Yay.
All
Yeah.
right.
Any other announcements? 4.
I have,
Oh, yeah,
Five
go ahead.
Eagle
Yes,
Scouts.
you have an item. Yep.
I have recognition of Eagle Scout achievements for 5 young men, and these resolutions will be presented in about a week's time on behalf of the City Council by Mr. Boyke and I. We're going to be presenting at a dinner. So I'd like to recognize for the record Joshua Andrew Shang, and he demonstrated his leadership and organizational skills by constructing benches and a table for the prayer garden at St. Malachy's Catholic Church. Brent Michael Delecki, who planted several trees at St. Malachy's Catholic Church. Jake Vincent Rudd, and he constructed trumpet stands for the Cousino High School Music Department. Stephen Matthew Marsack, who constructed a proscenium archway for the Middle School of Visual Performing Arts, and I will find out what a proscenium is prior to the presentation on Saturday. And Aaron David Hemstreet for constructing benches for the gazebo at the Humane Society of Macomb, and additional benches for the nature trail, and an eye-catching sign welcoming visitors near the front entrance, along with a monetary donation to assist with the care of the animals at the shelter. Congratulations to these 5 young men on the achievement of Eagle Scout rank. We offer the congratulations on behalf of City Council. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any other announcements?
Motion to approve?
Your motions?
Yes.
Support Dwyer.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Hearing and seeing no additional announcements, we can move on.
Next item is 10A, which is a public hearing subdivision lot split request located on the east side of Panama Avenue, approximately 400 feet north of Topher Road, one parcel, lot 31, to be split into 2 parcels. Supervisor's plat number 5, section 32, 21916 Panama Avenue. Tom Bomarito, City of Warren, is the petitioner, PSL S250004.
So to clarify, the city is the petitioner? They're one and the same in this? Okay. Is there need for an explanation on this, Michelle? No, it's just a traditional subdivision lot split. Sure, you can come up.
Good question.
Good evening. My name is Michelle Catapotis, Assistant Planning Director, and also I'm here with Timothy Babinski from the Community Development Block Grant Program. And so if you want to start with what the Community Development Block Grant, this is the split for, the lot is 100 feet in width, and the result of this split will create 2 lots that are 50 feet in width. And so it's infill development on this street on Panama. So the Planning Commission on November 17th, they voted to recommend approval for the split, and on December 10th, the Zoning Board of Appeals granted the variance to allow the construction of 2 single-family homes, each on the 50-foot wide lot. So that is the project. If you have any questions, you can ask me or Timothy from Block Grant.
Okay, if you want to just hang out nearby, we'll go through the public hearing process, and then if we have questions, we'll call you back up. Okay, I will open the public hearing. Is there anyone from the audience that wants to speak about this matter at the public hearing? Okay, hearing and seeing none, I will close the public hearing and turn it over to council for action.
Motion to approve.
Support Lafferty with discussion.
Discussion, Mr. Lafferty.
Thank you. Through the chair to Mr. Babinski.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Welcome. Who is going to be responsible for constructing the homes?
It would be bid out to, a number of contractors, and basically the lowest eligible winning bid would be the most likely candidate for award.
All right. And what is the anticipated cost of the construction of the two homes?
I believe our estimate was around the 260 ballpark. I don't recall exactly offhand.
Okay. And the source of the funding to construct the homes?
Home Investment Partnerships Program. It's a federally funded grant that the city receives.
All right. And so that covers 100% of the cost?
Correct.
Okay. So we're going to construct these homes, and Council, I've mentioned this before. We construct homes through this program. Yes, it is federal dollars, but at the end of the day, it is still tax dollars that are being spent. What is the anticipated loss on the home when it is up for sale?
It's hard to tell until we have an official appraisal. We build the homes and sell them at the appraised value. The last ones that we just sold on Bolum, near 10 and Shaner, went for $200,000 apiece. That's what they appraised for.
Okay. And similar construction, square footage, style, shape?
Yep, very comparable.
Okay, so we're looking at, on average, about a 20% loss on principal investment in the property, each one.
Like I said, it varies project by project. We're always interested in, obviously, the most frugal approach, possible.
Okay, and the last question I have is, are you aware if there's a secondary lien that will be issued to maintain the sale price that will run with the land?
There will be a secondary lien, but there are no deed restrictions involved with that. It's a secondary lien from the city that provides down payment assistance.
Mm-hmm.
The purpose for these homes, of course, is to stabilize neighborhoods and provide affordable housing opportunities for low-income households. So what we do is we have a program that, based on their income and their need, provides down payment and assistance amount, and an amount that brings that their monthly payment into an affordable level.
Understood. Let me expound just a bit further. The first-time home buyer, or the first buyer for that property,
Mm-hmm.
the secondary lien would prevent them from flipping the home 6 months to a year later at a higher price.
No, not necessarily, but they'd have to pay obviously they'd have to pay the loan back. And for what it's worth, I've never heard of that happening since I've been with the city.
All right. That is a protection that we discussed this afternoon. We had a similar discussion at the Land Bank Authority meeting, and secondary liens were discussed. And the issue at hand, and you said it yourself perfectly, very eloquently, affordable housing. And the whole idea is infill housing, providing affordable housing, not to make a profit for the first person that can get in,
Mm-hmm.
flip the home for a much higher price and cash in on what's intended to be an economic assistance program.
With all the work we put into this, that would be devastating, definitely. No, like I said, our goal is to provide that long-term neighborhood stabilizing housing stock in areas of the city that are traditionally where new builds are kind of rare, right? So while we can't really control what they do after the fact, like I said, I've never seen that happen, and if it were, they'd obviously have to pay us back immediately.
I'm not so sure that statement is true. Through the chair to Mr. Schroeder, the secondary lien, as we discussed this afternoon, would that not prevent or act as a deed restriction on the home buyer from maximizing the sale price on a subsequent resale of the property at a higher value?
Without reviewing the document, I can't tell you that definitively.
I think this is certainly something that we should
Pardon me,
look
Mr.
into.
Schroeder, I can't hear your point of order.
Point of order. Mr. Schroeder, he couldn't hear you. Your
Oh,
microphone.
I'm sorry. I said without looking at the document, I can't definitively give him an answer.
But I think, without holding this item up, I think this is something that certainly warrants further review, and to ensure that affordable housing as being established by these programs are not being taken advantage of. Ultimately, that's what I want to make sure. And, you know, if we have that authority, certainly do want to exercise that in a covenant deed, a restriction in those, in that secondary lien. All right, and then, thank you, sir, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
The only other item that I have is on the resolution. The resolution that came over to council office identifies the economic director as Tom Bomarito once again. I have brought this up before. Mr. Bomarito is no longer the economic development director or economic development coordinator. He should not be identified as such on official municipal documentation. And before the mayor sends these items over, those items should be updated. So as an amendment to the item, to strike his name as the Director of Economic Development. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
No.
Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 10B, which is a public hearing, subdivision lot split and combination request located on the west side of Blackmar Avenue, approximately 100 feet south of 11 Mile Road, the south 30.02 feet of parcel 1320-226002, lot 40 of Mounddale subdivision, section 20, 26871 and 26759 Blackmar Avenue. Michael Kempton, Wade, and Christine Kempton.
So we'll take Ms. Capotas's summary from the first item. It's the same item? No, separate
No.
item, sorry. Okay. I'm struggling tonight.
We all are.
Bear with me. Yeah.
It's a day.
So, city staff will summarize first, and then if you
The
folks
own-
are the petitioners.
The petitioners, yes.
Yeah, you can speak after.
So the purpose of this lot split is to split lot 39 of this subdivision, which will result in, well, that's at 26871 Blackmar. And the result would have this property measure 60.02 feet by 117 feet. And the new legal description would be lot 38 and the north 10 feet of lot 39, including the half vacated alley, which is 10 feet to the north of the property. And so the parcel B, which is 26759 Blackmar, would receive 30 feet from that lot 39, and as a result of the split and combination would measure 70.02 feet by 117 feet and contain 8,192.34 square feet. And that new legal description would be lot 39, except the north 10 feet, and lot 40. And on November 17th, the City of Warren Planning Commission voted to recommend approval for this lot split and combination, and there were no variances needed for the project. And the revised survey plans addressing all the comments were already submitted to the Planning Department. And the petitioners are here also if you have any further questions.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Petitioner, you're welcome to say anything. You don't have to, but you're welcome to say anything if you, okay, just sit nearby in the event that we have any questions. Thank you. All right, so I will open the public hearing. Is there anyone from the audience who wants to speak on this matter? Okay, hearing and seeing none, I will close the public hearing and turn it over to council for action.
Motion to approve.
Support Lafferty.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries, so it's approved, so you're all set. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item.
Next item is 11A, request to approve the retirement of Stuart Kruger from the Warren Police Department prior to the age of 50. Motion to deny.
Support to deny.
No.
Madam President,
Mr. Noonan?
Councilman Lafferty, might I ask, I didn't know that this would be something that you'd want to deny. Why would you want to deny it? I'm just curious.
Madam Chair? So I'm supporting the motion to deny. There are extenuating circumstances that may need to be discussed in a legal session.
Okay.
So this may require a closed session.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. This is a motion, the motion on the table is to deny. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
No?
Ms. McGee?
No.
Okay. Motion to deny fails.
You didn't vote.
Oh, sorry. Again, sorry, struggling this evening. I am voting to deny, so we have 4 votes, yeah. So item is denied. Next item.
Next item
Really appreciate everyone's patience here.
is 11B. It is the Warren Professional Firefighter Union Local 1383 agreement with the City of Warren of February 4, 2026. So moved with discussion.
Support Dwyer.
Discussion, Ms. Moore.
Thank you. Mr. Fox, did you want to give the highlights, please?
Yes. Richard Fox, City Controller. Good evening, Council.
I will say quickly that I did talk to the union president, and he said it was overwhelmingly approved by their membership, just so everybody knows that.
So what we tried to do this round of negotiations, all the contracts were up this year, which made it pretty difficult, and Jared and I spent a lot of time negotiating them all. So this is the last one that we have. So what we did was, so we got the police union, the 2 contracts, WPOA and Command, will expire in 3 years. The non-police and fire contracts will expire in 4 years, and then this particular contract expires in 5 years. So we spread them out so we don't have to do them all at one time. Basically, this contract is similar to the police department as far as wages go. We did try to, or we did accomplish making some pension reform in this contract. Individuals will no longer be able to come to council and retire prior to 50, asking council for that request. And really, other than that, it pretty much mirrors the police contract. I'll answer any questions you may have.
I think the parental leave is new,
Well, that,
because that was new with police,
Yes.
and I think that's a really great benefit. I'm happy to see that one. And I think that it's important to mention that, especially because of the cadet program that we've done, we have a lot of members of the fire department that are very young when they were hired, and to let those people retire before age 50 will really put a strain on the retirement system, the pension system. So I think that's pretty interesting. And we've talked about this cancer and cardiac screening, which is so important, and
yeah, so on an annual basis, we're going to retain a company to come in and do that evaluation every year.
yeah, because just so people know that firefighters that are higher risk of developing cancer because of the toxins that they're exposed to during fires and other events. And sometimes it's difficult to have those certain cancers recognized. So the earlier we can get detection, the better it is for the firefighters. Yeah, that's it for me. Thank you.
Mr. Noonan, or Mr. Lafferty, did you have discussion on this
didn't.
item? Okay. Mr. Noonan?
Yes, Mr. Fox,
Good evening.
Good evening, hi. I understand that we're having a hard time hiring firemen. Would that be an accurate assessment?
Well, no, I don't think so. I mean, we just did a to hire firemen, and I believe we had, I don't know, Jared, maybe you can help a little bit, but we had 5 or 6 applicants, and they're going through the process right now of hiring them. So we have, I think, 4 vacancies at the present time that we're working on trying to fill.
Mr. Gajos, I heard that,
Hello.
that none of the applicants actually are choosing our fire department. Is that an accurate assessment?
That's untrue. What we have to do when someone applies is that we have the interview process with the firefighters. Depending on what we're hiring for, currently we went out and hired for seasoned firefighters. From my own assessment, I know others disagree, but I think that in order to avoid more risk liability for the city, we needed more seasoned firefighters that could train with the cadets that we brought in a couple years ago. So that's what I was hoping to look for when we went out. We had a list of about 7 or 8. We have to disqualify people after their interviews when you do a background check. The background checks that we get are pretty substantial. They're like a 2-inch thick book that kind of go into the details. So we'll go through that. But currently we have 2 that are currently finishing school. I think there was 2 that were denied, and then the rest, it all depends on where we're at after we do our background checks and kind of go from there. So there's still a hefty list, but we're planning, in case we do have any vacancies left. I've spoken with the commissioner and I've spoken with the union. We're looking to go out for EMTs after this, maybe EMTB, I think is what we're looking for. That way we can get those who may not be as seasoned, but aren't brand new to the profession to be able to come in and work for the city. So we're not having an issue. It's just finding quality candidates nowadays in any of our fields is difficult. Everyone wants the pretty penny, but no one wants to have the years of profession in. So it just depends. Everything just depends. But no, we're doing good.
For both of you, I'm concerned about how attractive the terms of duty and the rewards are for a fire department to make sure that we're competitive. And as I'm understanding the pay raises, it seemed like it was about the same rate as the rate of inflation that the pay raises. I hope I'm wrong, but can you explain what the pay raises will be over the coming years?
Mm-hmm. So it's a 5-year contract. We're looking at this 25, it's a 2.5% in July and a 2.5% in January. In July of 26, it'll be 3 3/4%. July of 27, it'll be 3%. July of 28, it'll be 2.5%. And July of 29, it'll be 2%.
Do either of you know about what the present rate of inflation is?
About 3%.
Okay, so it just seems like we're kind of keeping up with inflation a little bit.
Right. I think we're very competitive now. The salaries of the firefighters are right in the ballpark. We're up in the upper third of, top 3 probably in the whole state as far as wages. So I think we're very competitive.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that. I'm just checking out what I'd heard, and you both of you are probably much more expert, I would imagine, than I will ever likely be. But thank you so much for fielding my questions. I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
I yield.
Any other discussion? Okay, thank you, Mr. Fox.
You're welcome.
Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes?
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 12A, which is a legal update from Mr. Schroeder.
Can I get a motion and support?
So
Motion.
moved.
Thank you. Mr. Schroeder?
Sure. First, 12B and C tonight are items that were discussed at the last meeting. 12B is an ordinance updating the Housing Commission ordinance, which we have talked about at length. This would be the second reading. If this is approved and survives the veto process, we will then have a new Housing Commission ordinance that will be aligned with state law for the first time in 30 years. And item 12C is on the table. It was tabled last week pending the outcome of the second reading. which is an employment and operations agreement between the city and the Housing Commission, which addresses a lot of issues related to the Housing Commission being an independent employer and using the city agencies to support the Housing Commission, with some requirements that the Housing Commission have personnel rules appropriate for a public employer, and subjecting those employees and officials to the city's ordinances, including ethics and nepotism provisions. And there's other strong protections in that. So that will have to be taken off the table to be considered. The Housing Commission has already approved this agreement. So if the council approves this tonight, then the mayor and clerk can execute that agreement. We'll have what I can say for the first time in a long time, a Housing Commission ordinance and agreement that's compliant with the current laws and rules. So hopefully that's a step forward. A couple other matters. With the land bank, there's a lot of activity starting to build up at the land bank, and we may have some more activity at council as a result of that. We have a new consultant through the efforts of the land bank chair, who happens to be Council Secretary Moore, was able to negotiate for the land bank a new consultant who the state is paying for, who is an expert in not just land bank, but planning and zoning and economic development. And she came to our land bank meeting today, and she's going to be, her name's Emily Dorr. She's going to be supporting the land bank and applying for grants. And there's some great ideas that came out of that, and we may be coming back to council to transfer some more property to the land bank and for the purpose of economic development. So things are moving really well there. Beyond that, we are getting close to bringing a Civil Service Commission reform ordinance that is also needed. That's probably even more out of date than the Housing Commission ordinance was. So we're putting the final touches on that. And so that's the report for now, unless you have questions or additions.
Madam Chair? Just to add on the land bank, a property called Marie, on the street Marie, was put into the land bank, and we're going to be demolishing that through the land bank. But we were asked today to allow the fire department to do some training there, so we're going to do that before we have it demolished. They'll go in and use it they won't set it on fire. That's the agreement, but they will do some training. They put simulated smoke in the buildings and do some very useful training. We sort of came up with that idea about a year or two ago, that whenever we had a house we were going to demolish, that we would allow them to do some training there. So just want to assure Joe Shear and his training division that we will be allowing them to do that training at Marie. That's it.
Any other discussion? So I will call the question, I guess, this was a motion.
Motion to receive and file.
Yeah. And I will call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Next item.
Next item is 12B, proposed ordinance to amend Chapter 2, Administration, Article 5, Boards and Commissions, Division 9 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Warren relating to the Housing Commission. This is the second reading. So moved.
Support Lafferty.
Any discussion?
Yes, please. Let's see. On page 616 of the PDF tonight, section 2.2-243, powers and duties generally, the A point, let's see, the fourth line from the bottom of that, there's commission shall, and then it says be the approving body for purchases and so forth. Should there be a word? Oh, no, next line down. Proposals, and a member shall, as the representative, I think the word serve should be inserted there. If you follow me.
Can you restate
I can restate that.
where you're at specifically?
Yeah, So, let's see. It's page 9 of the ordinance. It's page 616 in the PDF tonight. Section 2-243, powers and duties generally. Item A, third line from the bottom of that item. It reads, proposals, comma, and a member shall, as the representative. I believe the word serve should be inserted there. Yeah? Good point, right? I hope. And then there's a word that I believe should be stricken. Let's see, where is that? Subject. Strike subject. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Page 11 of the ordinance, which is page 618 of the packet tonight, in section 2-244 rules and regulations, item B, the first line of that, it says the Housing Commission subject may adopt such other rules which are necessary to the just and effective administration. I think the word subject should be stricken. Okay, that's all I had. Thank you.
Do those items need to be entered into the motion, or those just ministerial? And
I think the second one, for sure, there's some question about the first suggestion, where it says, Housing Commission shall be the approving body for purchases, bid awards, and proposals, and a member shall, as the representative on request for proposal committees in place of city council, where reference is made to the council in the purchasing ordinance.
It shouldn't read shall serve. Shall what? Serve.
I have no objection to the word serve being.
Thank you.
And then the second one is striking. Ms. Moore and Mr. Lafferty, are you?
No objections.
No objections to those amendments? Okay.
Oh, no.
Okay, any other discussion? Thank you, Mr. Noonan. I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
12C, which was tabled on February 10th, 2026, consideration and adoption of a resolution approving an employment and operations agreement between the City of Warren and the Warren Housing Commission. Motion to remove from the table.
Support Lafferty.
I will call the question to remove this item from the table. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Item is off the table.
Motion to approve.
Support Lafferty.
Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
12E, Councilmember Jonathan Lafferty, discussion in review of sanitation blue bin program, purchase history, metrics on replacements, and reported bin damages, and future program advancements. So moved.
Support Lafferty with discussion.
Discussion, Mr. Lafferty.
Through the chair to Mr. Mazzarelli.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Thank you. Number one, thank you for the prompt and expeditious response to providing the materials that I requested 2 weeks ago at the meeting.
That was all Mr. Kika. I will give him all the credit he deserves.
Well, it was everything and more than I expected, and is a great example of the response that is expected of certain office in this city. which will remain nameless. Let's start with a couple items. Did you want to speak on behalf of the department, or Mr. Campbell?
If you want, we can invite the expert up. He's here. He can talk to it. I feel much more comfortable with his expertise.
Yes, Mr. Kitka, please. But I did want to thank you again for the return of information as quickly as it was. Members of council, you should have the detail forwarded to you as well. I just have a couple of questions.
Good evening.
And wanted to go through. Good evening, Mr. Kitka. Thank you for joining us this evening. Have all homes received, and I preface this by saying that the program's been in place for several years. You've made a number of advancements. Residents have seen the transformation from our old pickup style, from 2 men on the back of the truck, to the automated collection. And every so often, you come to us and you ask us for additional bins, more lids, repair parts. And so I wanted to review kind of and summarize some of the progress here, and then answer a couple of standard questions that I typically receive as a council member, and I'm sure some of the other members might also receive.
Sure.
Have all homes received at least one trash, recycling, and compost bin?
Yes, every home in the city of Warren received a trash bin, and then everybody who requested a compost or recycling bin received one.
Okay, so compost and recycling were upon request?
Upon request.
Okay. And to the trucks, are they inspected for performance? And this is relative to the mechanisms for the pickup and the return of the cart to the street?
Yes, our drivers do a pre-trip inspection every morning, and the arm is part of that inspection.
Okay. And more specifically, what I've observed is that the pickup seems to be pretty straightforward. If there's a sensor, or it knows how far to go out and grab the bin, and then when it puts it back down, is the expectation, is it reasonable to expect that the cart is put into the same place that it originated?
Yes, that's our requirement. If it's practical. Sometimes, if there's a car blocking it, our guys will get out and move it away from the car and then put it back. If there's a safety issue, we'll put it back in a practical way, but for the most part, yeah, you can expect it back right at the curb where it is.
Okay, but as far as the position that it was in when it was being picked up, return to that exact position precisely, or within reason?
Well,
Because
we try to. I mean, it's an inexact science, but yes, it should be in about the same position.
Okay, and the reason I ask is I have observed and I have received calls that, hey, my bin is consistently put 4 feet away from the curb when I have it right up against the curb.
On occasion, that'll happen if somebody, your neighbor parks their car in front of your house and you put your bin there, then your neighbor takes off at 6:30 in the morning and the bin's put back in a safe manner, but now it looks like it's in the street. But our supervisors take care of those problems.
Okay.
We answer all complaints within 24 hours.
Also, weather plays a factor too.
I'm sorry?
Also, weather plays a factor too. Wind will catch those cans and blow them away from the curb.
Yeah, I've seen them on the move.
Oh, yeah.
When they're empty. That's rather entertaining. All right, and does the department retain metrics on damages? Bins, lids?
Oh, yes.
Can you comment on that?
We keep exhaustive records. There's serial numbers on every can. We record every lid replaced, every wheel replaced, every bin replaced. We record everything.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause I was looking at the report from a cost-effective analysis. It seems that, we're based on what the labor rates were previous, that even with the cost of the replacement parts and the labor, that we are, please,
Oh, it's saving money. I'd have to hire 15 more drivers and employees to do the same amount of work, with a 2-man truck. It's definitely saving money in the long run. It's year by year, it saves money.
Very good. And who is responsible for the repair or replacement to a bin if it's damaged during pickup?
We are. We replace all the bins that we damage. We replace them at no cost to the homeowner. No, and, you know, it does happen, wintertime, you get a lot of damage.
Understood. Is there a warranty on the bins?
Yes, we're using a Michigan-based company now. We switched over July 1st of last year. So the order time is quicker. There's a 10-year warranty on these bins. That's why the serial numbers are on there. We haven't had one damaged yet. Knock on wood.
Are there any differences between the old style bin and the bin that you receive
Yes.
now?
The ones we got now, they're still 95 gallons, same capacity, but they're taller and thinner, so the pinch points don't squeeze as much, so there's less cracking.
Okay. And you still should not move them when they're open? As a resident, you know, moving the bin?
No.
Not that I'm speaking from personal experience. And what number or department should residents call if they require a replacement bin or lid?
Yeah, 586-775-1400.
That number's on the can, correct?
It is on the can.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
And every truck.
And every truck.
It's all over the place.
Very good. How soon can a resident expect a bin to be delivered to their home after the call?
We try to replace it on your next trash day. So we ask residents, I think I sent you all our cart replacement policies, but we ask residents to leave it out till 4 o'clock so we have access to it, because we don't like going onto your property to repair them or replace them.
Understood. The information that you provided, is this going to be posted to the city website?
It will be, yes.
All right.
Yes.
This is really good information.
Thank you.
It answers every question. And I did want to close by, number one, thank you and your team for the stellar job that they do each and every week. I did want to say that I had a call from a resident just about 2 weeks ago asking for some clarifications regarding the program. So I have to thank him for helping bring this issue to light. And he was very complimentary of the gentleman you sent out to his house representing sanitation. He mentioned that he was courteous, professional, and very polite, and that he fixed the bin with the repair parts from his truck in about less than 20 minutes. He was very pleased.
Good, thank you.
So, thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, I have no other questions.
Madam Chair? Mr. Kika. So I had a discussion with someone today that asked me a lot of questions about our sanitation, and I don't know that I'm up to date on everything. So can you tell me, when we pick up trash, not recycle or compost, but trash, where does it go from the time it goes into the truck?
We take it to a transfer station, SMDA, and
Oh, we
then-
do, okay,
And from there, it goes on to a landfill, Pine Tree Acres.
okay, where's SMDA?
It's on Groesbeck, just north of, between 11 and 12. It's on Groesbeck. City of Warren's
Yeah,
part owner of it.
right, okay, all right, thank you.
Any other discussion?
Oh, Madam Chair? I was just sent a question from the viewing audience. What happens in the event a bin is stolen?
Getting your steps in today.
Yeah, someone called me and they saw one of our bins in Harrison Township. Jonathan and I were gonna go on a field trip and go and grab it.
Go get it.
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often, but usually we try to work with residents. If they say it's stolen, we'll probably give them one for free.
Tell them to go to Harrison Township and pick one up. Thank you.
All right.
Any other discussion? All right, so we had motion and support from Ms. Moore and Mr. Lafferty. Make that receive and file.
Yeah.
Okay. I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes, but watch where we file it.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 13A, which was tabled 1/27/2026, review and consideration of the Americans with Disabilities Act Transition Plan. Motion to remove from the table.
Support Lafferty.
I will call the question to remove it from the table. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Sure.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C is a yes. Item is off the table.
Motion to approve.
Support Lafferty.
Any discussion? I had two questions.
They have a presentation.
Oh, got it. Okay, when is it? Is it happening now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The slides, a presentation.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Computers.
I was just gonna call the question and vote.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So I'm Caitlin Murphy. I think you guys probably all know me, ADA coordinator, also work for the city attorney's office.
Can you please speak into the microphone?
Caitlin Murphy from the city attorney's office, also ADA coordinator. I do have our two consultants that worked on the ADA transition plan today here to do a little presentation, and then we can answer any questions that you may have. So.
Hello, my name is Adriana Melchior. I'm from Hubble Roth and Clark. I actually started on this project back in 2021. I'm on the ADA transition team here with the rest of the city team members. And in 2021, we were asked to perform ADA assessments on 9 city facilities. So the community center, City Hall, police, Owen Jacks, Water Division, Public Works, Sanitation, 37th District Court, and Civic Center South. The assessments, we'd handled those in early 2022. We compiled reports of non-compliant items and then came up with cost estimates, and that eventually led to task planning, so prioritization of like which tasks we're going to handle first in 2023. And for that, we looked at all the buildings, what the most critical needs were in terms of increasing accessibility, and then we came up with a phasing plan on how to tackle the improvements. And the city also had John DeLisa over here from Noack and Frost doing ADA assessments at all the city parks as part of the overall plan at that time. So at that point, we had collected all of the data, the physical data, and the committee was ready to start creating the transition plan document. So 2024, we started to pull together the framework of the plan. We gathered additional information, identifying how we were going to approach public engagement and involving the various city departments in the process. So our first official draft was pulled together in August of 24. And then over the next 14 months, it was continually refined and fleshed out until we issued the final draft October of last year. And then we also had 2 public engagement meetings in October of last year. And actually both of those were televised, broadcast, and then they were videotaped, and they're on the city's transition plan webpage. So anybody can go back and look at those and kind of see what the comments were. And there were actually good comments, and we took those into consideration, and as applicable, we were looking at maybe adding some additional content to the report if needed. I believe all of you have copies of the transition plan, and I'm just going to kind of go through the basic organization. There's 5 sections and then appendices at the end. So the first section is the introduction. Then we've got the report overview, which is basically the why of, why we were doing the transition plan in the first place. The third section is transition plan summary, so what was done, procedures we used. Fourth section was self-evaluation, which is basically the data on accessibility, all the facilities and the city services, because it's not just buildings, it's also services that are that we have to worry about as far as accessibility. The fifth section was cost estimates and schedules, so as far as like how we phased it, which goes where, how much it's going to cost, and when it's going to get tackled. And then there were the appendices, which are the actual inventories and the survey data, and there's just over 200 pages of data in the transition plan. We've got some committee members here if you have any questions, and then John, I don't know if you want to say anything additional or.
No, I think you did fine. John DeLisa with Noack and Frost. We were tasked, as she mentioned, with doing a survey of the parks. I know her work as well as ours was, you know, rather tedious in collecting all the data. 200 pages is quite a bit of data to go through, but I think we've packaged it in a way that the general public can digest it and kind of add their feedback, which they did at the first 2 meetings that we offered. So,
Madam Chair. Ms. Moore. It's been a while since I read this. It was a couple months ago, I think, because we've tabled a couple times. So I assume that this plan meets federal ADA requirements and ensures the city is providing equal access to residents with disabilities. My question is, if accessibility standards change in the future, how will the city update this plan to stay compliant?
So in the plan, it mentions that there's basically the requirement that the city has acknowledged that they're going to periodically update the plan as needed. So obviously if the guidelines change, that would get revised as appropriate.
Who is in charge of that?
So I'll take this on. So we, as an ADA committee, it's an internal committee, meet monthly. We've been doing it for 2 years. We're planning on continuing meeting and continuing the progress that we've already made. But then I believe we have, and I'd have to go back and see, but a specific timeline when we're going to review this, whether it's probably will be yearly, to make sure that we're in compliance still, to update anything. I know there are some additional buildings, some additional things that we need to work on. So it's certainly, it's a transition plan. It's not complete. It's a working document. So, but we are continuing to meet with all the important department heads and all the stakeholders on a very regular basis.
So who, is there one person that is going to be charged with ensuring that this plan is carried out through all departments in the city? Or how is that going to be accomplished to make sure that building is following it, sanitation is following it, Parks and Rec is following it?
So ultimately that would come to me, I believe, as the ADA coordinator. But you know, I will obviously count on those departments and department heads to comply with. And so far I've not had a problem at all. Actually, I've had very good response from everyone. They're really making this a priority and answering all of my emails in a timely fashion. So I don't see it being a problem. But ultimately it would be on me.
Is there a plan of keeping residents and council apprised of what progress is being made and what projects are completed and where we are on a timeline?
Oh, yes, certainly. So I believe, and this was maybe 1.5 years ago, you guys did appoint, and I believe it's Councilman Noonan is our representative ex officio sort of to our committee. And I think I have been communicating with him. You know, of course, we would always, if you want regular updates, if you want to see our agendas, we'd be happy to provide that if you guys want more information.
Well, I think residents are very interested in this subject, so I think probably a public updates periodically would be important.
I also, at the Commission on Disabilities, I do an update every month, so I attend that meeting every month and do a...
Is there a formal role for the Commission on Disabilities to monitor this implementation? Because that's certainly part of one of their duties that they are supposed to be doing, is monitoring this sort of thing in the city.
So they've been very involved. They came to the public hearings, that they have been working with me on training, employees, various other things. You know, they are advisory, so they do.
Well, they're more than they're way more than advisory according to the ordinance, but we're going to go over that later today.
Okay.
Okay. So you may not know this yet, but how frequently does the city receive ADA complaints or accommodation requests?
So I have a spreadsheet that's available like on our city network so that everyone can share it. Not that often, but I could give you exact statistics from that Excel spreadsheet, but I keep a very detailed log of everyone when they make the complaint, when the response is due, We actually have an email set up that forwards to my email as well as the legal department's email in case I'm off, so that we receive any complaints. We're supposed to answer within 30 days. It's honestly usually faster than that. We try to be very prompt with our responses.
Yeah.
So.
How does the city, or is the city going to prioritize accessibility issues to address first?
So at least from my perspective, when I started meeting with the department heads and the stakeholders, my goal was to get our house in order first. So to create this transition plan, which has been a 2-year process, probably actually more, it's pretty extensive. And now we're moving into the phase of obviously implementation, which we've been doing along with the creation of the transition plan, but also now looking at some things going forward as far as the city's accessibility ordinance. That's actually something that's sort of in discussion, be able to close the transition plan door and move on to some of these implementations, including the city ordinance.
Will ADA improvements be coordinated with other city construction projects to minimize disruption?
I guess I don't understand that question.
Well, for instance, we might have a construction project going on somewhere, and those sort of activities, like this room, for instance, is going to be modified and changed to meet ADA requirements. So will that be coordinated with other projects within this building, for instance? Will we be doing like everything here and having?
Oh yes, I'll let, because they dealt with the priorities, so.
Yeah.
So there's actually 2 projects right now that are going on that we did the design for that are about to go under construction. So there was a large package of kind of the priority 1 improvements at multiple city buildings. So we put that out as a big package to get some economies of scale. And then there's the project here in this room that's also going to be constructed. That was a separate package. But we obviously looked at them in tandem to kind of see what is going on and kind of plan out holistically the improvements. There weren't really any other improvements going on in the building except for, I know that there's some updates to pool door hardware. So they're handling that separately, but it's something that we've kind of been keeping tabs on.
I assume there's some places there are safety problems. Some areas there might be legal liability and things that need to be taken into consideration.
Yes, in terms of prioritization of which projects to tackle first, yes, there was obviously if there's areas where there've been multiple complaints or if it's just egregiously non-compliant, those were bumped up to the top of the list. Anything that prevented people from getting into the building in the first place, that was high on the list. Bathroom renovations were also kind of important, so those made the list for the priority ones. We're actually going to be starting to move into design soon on the priority 2 improvements. So it's kind of a phased approach, and the overall the plan was to kind of tackle the ones that are most in need of being done sooner, and then kind of handle the less critical ones.
I know the Parks and Rec department for several years now have made some big inroads in the play structures and other amenities at the parks for accessibility and inclusivity. Is there any plan to improve the routes between parking areas and sidewalks and park amenities? Because that, from somebody that's able to walk without a problem, I can see where it's like at Veterans Park, it's tough. We go there for a lot of events on the corner, and it's hard to go from there certain places. So I know that, or is that being looked at in tandem with other sidewalk projects and things like that? Dave's shaking his head yes.
Yes, certainly is, and this plan gives them a nice source when they're doing work at any park. They can see what the condition of those parking spaces are, what the pathways are to the area of improvement, and certainly would include that in the scope of work.
And I assume there will be coordination with contractors, right? To make sure that people are doing construction work and whatever vendors there are, that they're following this plan.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. Another question one of the residents had was, how will residents be able to see what improvements have been completed and what is planned next?
Well, I guess again, the function, the outreach is probably through the Commission on Disabilities more than anything. So, because we do have these regular internal meetings, but I am reporting back to the Commission on Disabilities on a regular basis, sort of where we're at in the process. We also do have a website that we're updating on a regular basis, so you can see the transition plan, you can see the public meetings. There's also various resources, including the grievance procedure and various other helpful information for the public. So that's, and the, as well as the public meetings we had. So that was our public outreach.
Okay, the other, it's been a long time since I looked at it, but I don't remember seeing timelines in the plan.
That was my question.
So
Are there,
for the building related items, there's a spreadsheet in the back of the document where the costs are. Those are broken down by priority and also time frame. So if you look real close, there's dates, there's years on when those projects are kind of earmarked for.
Okay.
And obviously that's based on available budget and, you know, available design time and a lot of factors. But that's kind of the rough plan. There are dates in there.
okay. I think that is it for me. Thank you very much.
Ms. McGee and then Mr. Lockery.
I had a couple questions. I did, just to let Lori know, we did put in information to the IT department to add to the website once the website is built through the city. Was that included in the plan, to put an ADA code or ADA symbol in the website for the city of Warren?
Specifically, what are you referring to?
There's a logo that you use for ADA compliance to put on the Warren website.
Are you talking about Accessibee, the little, okay. So we actually have a consultant that doesn't use, Accessibee has some legal issues, so that's why we decided not to go with them. But we do have consultants that we work with on a very regular basis that do various tests on our accessibility. They're currently working for the new WCAG standards, which are going to be required sometime this year, I want to say April. But that particular program, that Accessibee, we do not use, but we do have other, what I would say, better ways of making sure that we are in compliance with those standards and all laws and regulations. I believe that we do have a section on website accessibility in the transition plan. Okay. But certainly Catherine Montaldo is our, in communications, she's great. That's what she does all the time is work with those consultants, so.
The other thing, you said that what do we do for outreach? I know with me being the ex-official for the commission, that you're also putting on an event, a disability event, to make people aware of the things that you are doing and provide resource information.
That is correct. I think the Commission on Disabilities is planning on doing a disabilities fair. I know that they had done a couple in the past. They were a little low on members for a few years, so as well as administrative support. So they're going to try to get that going again.
Yes.
It was very popular, is my understanding, when they had it. So.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Lafferty.
Thank you. Good evening, Ms. Murphy.
Good evening.
My question, Ms. Adriana, I'm sorry, I didn't catch your last name.
It's Melchior.
Melchior? Ms. Melchior? Thank you. The question I had, you had mentioned just a few moments ago that there was a spreadsheet outlining tasks and timelines.
Yeah, it's actually the cost estimate. If you look on the right-hand side of it, it gives dates.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. That's not part of what we received.
So there was an updated version that might not have made it to your packets. It's on the website. But yeah, so if you don't have 200 pages in your document, it's not the full one.
No.
So there's some additional information maybe you're missing that is part of the actual full transition plan.
And that would be my fault if you did not receive the entire, and I apologize.
No,
but it is
no worries.
available on the website. It is quite extensive, so as far as all the projects and the self-assessment, so.
Okay, so without seeing it, my question was more so towards a roadmap, being able to see where all of the projects, the deficiencies, and where all of these tasks fell within, I don't know, if it does say in here in section 5 that there's a 5-year time frame by 2030 to remove barriers.
Yes.
But I would assume that only refers to a portion of that plan?
Correct. It refers to specifically the 8 buildings that we surveyed, and then also the park facilities that were surveyed. There's additional buildings that have not been yet surveyed, so those have to get brought into the plan and will come online as, you know, as the funds become available for that later on.
Okay, because, and then section 5 also makes reference to that many of these tasks are funding dependent, dependent upon economic conditions,
Right.
Budgeting, and I know Mr. Fox is picking up when we say that word. So we have to, along with all of the deficiencies, a remediation plan with a cost associated with each one of those line items. And so on the website, yes, Ms. Murphy, if you could please follow up and provide a link to that report.
I will, yes.
To council office.
And my apologies.
No
again.
worries, no apologies needed.
We are actually looking, part of the thing that we talk about in all these ADA meetings is funding, including looking at grants and various other funding to get to, to look towards the future, knowing that our money from the DDA will eventually run out, that, we'll have funding needs in the future. So that is something that we are definitely looking at every meeting.
Okay. And my last item would be back to the website. It was mentioned we had renewed the Inside Out contract for a period of 1 year, and so I'm concerned with asking the communications department to explore going back out for RFP, how that might impact the April implementation timeline. 'Cause I'm not.
My understanding, and I haven't emailed with Catherine in a little bit, but that they were pretty much in compliance. They were like ahead of schedule. I mean, I can confirm that and see sort of more specifically where they were at. But the last communication I had with Catherine, that was the impression that she gave me, that they were going to get it all done well before the deadline. So.
Okay.
And I might be wrong about April. I don't.
Okay, and I know that, I know Ms. Moore has brought up, and a couple other members of council have noted mistakes on the website, despite the fact that they are supposed to review this on an ongoing basis, yet the mistakes remain, and there are deficiencies on the site. So we might want to put an asterisk on the delivery on that one if we decide to change providers. And, we may have to revisit ADA all over again if we retool the site altogether.
Certainly, yeah. And you can always email me if you notice any issues or you have any concerns. I am not an expert, but I can certainly consult with Catherine and the people that deal with this every day. She's very good at getting back to me, and the consultants are as well. So.
Wonderful. Thank you. I have no other questions.
Anyone else have any discussion? I had one question that's maybe a larger thing. But we mentioned sidewalks in the plan. When are we doing a comprehensive sidewalk plan? I know we've talked about this. I know some of it's funding, but I just sent you up here some photos from the walk that I was on where the concrete was so unbelievably lifted on the sidewalk.
Hello, good evening. Yes, currently, sidewalks are still on complaint-based driven. So if, whatever you send me, I will put it on a future list.
I'll just email it to you.
Okay, to get repaired. The ramps, however, we do have, the city set aside $200,000 each year in the budget, and we're going section by section and getting a bunch of ramps on a program, and we just bid it out. And I think on the next council agenda, you'll see the award for bid.
So what would it take to work section by section to replace the sidewalks?
So it depends. It varies section by section. Like, for instance, this package that I just bid out is 4 sections.
For ramps?
For ramps. Yeah.
It would be great come budget time if you could have just even some rough estimates of like what it would take to conquer one section of the city, like comprehensively, to go through the sidewalks, because it's, you know, we notice it more particularly during campaign years, like when we're walking across, you know, half the city talking to folks, but even just in my neighborhood, there's just so much that I think if we did it more comprehensively would just make so much more sense. And I think there's so many folks that I've talked to over the years that have complained about, you know, they're blind, or they have, you know, they're elderly, they just don't see, and they fall. That costs us money when they sue us, but also it just makes their experience in their immediate neighborhood less pleasant because they're having to watch for so many hazards. So it would be great if you could look at, like, I don't know, break the city into 4 and tell us what it would cost to do one section.
Yes, but the ramps are the city's responsibility, and the rest of the sidewalks are property owner's responsibility. So it would be assessed to the
Yeah.
property owner.
Well, isn't it split? Is it?
I mean, and there's certain, like, if you have a corner lot, there's certain things that the city cover. If it's trees, due to a tree, the maximum we have the resident pay is 4 slabs, and if anything goes over that due to the tree, that's on the city. But there are certain rules, and they're in the ordinance, but, yeah, for the majority of the cost is on the property owner. The ramps, the city pays for. I budget $200,000 each year to take care of, roughly, I think we had 40 ramps, I think, on this project, somewhere around there.
Okay,
So
so
like-
if we were gonna do a plan, for example, what I'm asking, the homeowners obviously have to opt in if they're responsible.
They have to.
They have to pay for it if it's replaced, got it, okay. And that's by ordinance?
Well, let me explain the
Yeah,
sidewalk
go for
program.
it.
So we did this one time. We started in about early 2000s, about 2002, and they started at the northeast part of the city. And they went, and it took about 2 years, Mr. Fox, about 2 years. Today's dollars, probably, you're talking close to 10 million, probably, at least $10 million to do the program like we did then. But it went through the whole city. Every single property was flagged, and every sidewalk flag, no pun intended, was replaced, and the resident was charged for that, and it goes on the tax roll. Or they could pay it then, or however they wanted to. The beauty of that was, at the same time, the contractors were out there, and residents realized their driveway approach was bad, or their driveway needed repairs, so they got less expensive concrete work because the contractor was already there. And people loved it. They got driveways, and it's just the matter of, there's the contractor that's doing really great work. We started out with one that wasn't fabulous, but after we'd started the program, we got a contractor in Mattioli Cement I've never seen a contractor do so much work in a city with so few complaints. It was amazing, just amazing. And lots of our legal complaints went down for trip and falls and all that. And but more importantly, people weren't hurt as much as they had been in the past. We took out trees. If we do it again, we should not just do sidewalks, we should replace trees while we're out there. So
Yes.
we would improve this tree canopy through the city and do the sidewalk. But it's a big undertaking, it's a lot of money. And I think Annette Guattari-Ross from the Attorney's Office put together that whole program. It was pretty comprehensive, but very, very successful, but it's very, very expensive, no doubt. And it's a lot of, it's not like ripping up your street. It's not as,
Intensive.
yeah. But there's still sidewalks and driveways if, people choose to get that. But, I think Jonathan wanted trees and I wanted sidewalks when we first, and that was one of the first things we asked for, was to do a sidewalk program in 19. And it's been.
Does that include main roads, Ryan, DeQuinder?
Yeah.
Well,
And anywhere there was a home sidewalk, whether they did it for, I don't remember if they did it commercial. I don't think so. I don't think commercial. I think it was just residential streets. Because I can remember trying to plan my walking day. I go somewhere, I go, oh geez, they're doing these sidewalks. I had to go to a different precinct to walk because it was interrupting the route. But I think it's something that, in the next couple of years, we really should look at doing.
Yeah, I agree. Well, road construction projects, we always take care of the ramps and sidewalk
Yeah,
issues
yeah.
and again, like I said, complaints, and also when our inspectors are out and about and they see something, they'll report it. So we put a lot on our sidewalk program every year. There's a lot of sidewalk that's fixed.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just an accessibility thing, and I would
Sure.
love to see it addressed. Yeah, thank you.
Sure.
Any other discussion? Okay, Mr. Noonan.
Sorry, Madam President. Madam President, I see on, let's see, page 634 of our agenda.
We're still on ADA.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's, I think, about the last page of what we have there. Second to last page, maybe. Anyways, it says the ADA committee respectfully requests that this item be scheduled for committee of the whole meeting. Are we bypassing that tonight?
Madam Chair? We decided in the council office to have this meeting in public because so many residents were interested in it.
Okay.
And they don't have the same access
So
to a committee meeting. This will do it.
This is it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. I'm done.
Okay. I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Thank you, everyone, for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Next item is 13B, which was tabled 2/10/2026, notice of reappointment of Natalie Piernick to the Library Commission with a term expiration of June 30th, 2029.
Motion to remove from the table.
Support?
Okay, support from Mr. Noonan. I will call the question to remove it from the table. Mr. Lafferty?
Yes to remove from the table.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Item is off the table.
Motion to approve?
Support?
Discussion.
Motion by McGee, support by Mr. Noonan. Discussion, Mr. Lafferty.
Thank you. So a couple of weeks ago, before we got into the residency discussion, I had questioned why this item was being brought to our agenda. And, so far ahead of time, when other commission appointments, one with the exact same term, was not being presented to us. Why this one specifically, and why is the mayor ignoring the appointments of so many other commissions, especially those that have absolutely no members? I'll reiterate, the Veterans Memorial Commission has 0 members. The Elected Officials Compensation Commission has 0 members. And here we are appointing somebody several months before their appointment expires. And June of 2026 is when this expires. I still don't understand. I do want to bring this up. I was perplexed. There was an article that was just published today in the Warren Weekly. You may not have received it yet, but the mayor claims that she had no process to follow when she took office. Now, last time I checked, the city charter is very clear as to what the qualifications for boards and commissions are. And so I guess nobody told her to look at the city charter, to look at what the process is for appointing members to boards and commissions. Now, she did tout the other day that she made 100 appointments. Wow. 2 years and how many months into the term, and you only got 100 appointments in. I know several mayors, past mayors, that did that in the first 90 days. That is the expectation that we have. We shouldn't be having this discussion. I think I've said this before. We should not be having this discussion. I'm disappointed in the process. I'm disappointed in the consistency of her excuses instead of pointing the question back at us and calling it a moving target. We expect results. We expect her to do her job. And I have no other words to explain, my frustration with the mayor and why this reappointment is in front of her. If the mayor believes that this person should sit on the library commission, is qualified, and meets the expectations, then that person serves at the mayor's pleasure, and the mayor will reap the results of her decision. To answer one question based on an item that did not get discussed tonight, I would like to ask that we send or we establish a policy from council office that going forward, all appointments should include a U.S. residency validation and a voter ID check by the city clerk's office. I think that is in concert with the city charter and eligibility for serving on a commission, that you have to be registered to vote within the city of Warren. You can only be registered to vote in the city of Warren if you are a resident, and I think that can solve many of our issues if we require that as part of the application process. So with that, I will yield.
I just wanted to note, I spoke to Ms. Piernak because there was some concern about her address. I spoke to her, I think, on Friday, and she sent me her voter ID card, which has the Warren address, her driver's license, her homeowner's insurance policy, all of that. She did note, which I think maybe is a part of your motion, Mr. Lafferty. I don't know if it was Mr. Watts brought up her water bill or property tax. No?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so she lives in an HOA, and so her property tax and water bill are not in her name, and so they're paid as a part of her HOA fees. So if anyone was trying to look up her water bill or look up her property tax payment, they wouldn't really be able to because they're being paid from the HOA.
Right.
So I don't know if there's something on the application that someone should change, maybe in the administration's office to note that.
Right.
Because you wouldn't be able to find those things being past due.
Right.
Because they're not in her name.
Right.
I think that's a very valid point to make as part of the application process as well.
Just, it eliminates confusion when people are trying to, look for outstanding balances, that they're not gonna exist in
They're not gonna find
that
it.
way, yeah.
Madam President?
Mr. Noonan and then Ms. Moore.
I think those might be very valid possibilities that Councilman Lafferty is recommending, but I don't wish to make that part of tonight's vote on Ms. Piernak.
Yeah, it would be a separate,
Yeah,
separate motion.
that would be good to consider.
Sure.
Yeah, Madam Chair.
I
So
yield.
when, someone's appointed that doesn't have a track record, all of us, it's sort of a leap of faith who is being appointed. And I mentioned the other night I had some serious concerns about the Library Commission. They deal with a lot of money, a lot of facilities, they have a lot of responsibility. I once again, thanks to Ms. Harris, who records live, I've watched most of the many of them, thanks to Ms. Harris. I was concerned again at the last meeting. There seems to be a lack of following any sort of Robert's rules or any of, the meetings seem a little skeltered to me. And I know that the people on there really don't have much experience. And, it's been a year, I think, and I think since Ms. Piernik was there, maybe she'll learn more and the things will improve. And it's, if the mayor's not concerned about those things, then I guess she'll just have to deal with the fallout of that, whatever happens. We have a new library director and a fairly new commission. I don't think everybody is going to ask to be reappointed, so there's probably going to be a problem with quorum. I would have made a motion to deny today, but I'm worried about a quorum, and that's why I'm not. So I'm not going to oppose this, but I think there's got to be some, watching over some of the commissions to make sure they're following their mandate, following Robert's rules, going forward. Thank you.
Ms. McGee?
Yes, I wanted to say this, that concerning when we talk about the lack of experience come with training and development. If we're going to appoint someone to a commission, they should at least have training and development. But we never talk about that. I brought this up on before. If you want them to be experts on Robert rules, then provide Robert rules training. We should not expect someone to be on a commission who may be qualified due to having the education, maybe having a little experience, maybe because they've been on other boards and they met all the other requirements, but we did not provide them with training and development. And they should be provided with that. We have programs out there for that. And if we want the best of the best and we want qualified people on our commission, then train them, develop them to be the best of the best.
Thank you.
Madam Chair?
Ms. Moore and then Mr. Lafferty.
I don't disagree with you, Ms. McGee. In fact, in under other administrations, they did provide Robert's Rules of Order. I remember George Constance used to hold classes, and so everybody knew what they were. But Robert's Rules are very simple. It's a little book, especially in the Library Commission. I'm sure there's one sitting right in the library where they meet. And they could just walk out and pick up it's like they have Robert's Rules for Dummies that I could probably use. Robert's Rules are not complicated. They're very simple. And, you could just give someone, a copy or just have copies around for people to read. That would accomplish the same thing. But I bet there is one in the library.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure. But I don't disagree with you that there needs to be some training, and many of the commissions actually say that there should be a wide variety of talent of certain commissions that provide different areas of expertise and come to the commission with expertise. And I don't know that we're following that, because you have to look at the ordinance. And I'm going to talk about that later. I've got some things to bring up, some inconsistencies, but I don't disagree with you on training. I think there's a lot that needs to be done when people don't even know what a fund balance is and they're dealing with millions of dollars. That was scary and concerning to me. So I believe I totally agree with you on that one.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yeah, and Ms. McGee, I too agree with you. I think it's unreasonable for us to expect that any commissioner is an expert in Robert's Rules of Order. And certainly with a little bit of training, they can achieve that. But many of our boards and commission have, and it's not necessarily their role, but they have a representative from the city attorney's office that could interject and provide guidance to ensure that those items are followed at least to some degree of order. All right, I would expect that from an attorney, and so the example that I saw at this latest library commission meeting, an item was discussed. Many items were discussed. No vote was taken. They simply went on to the next item, discussed another item, no vote taken. Then they went to audience participation and then came back to the items. There may have been discussion at some certain points, and then they voted. So there was 2 periods of discussion on each item. That doesn't fly with Robert's rules. If your bylaws state that's what you're following, you should be following those. And so there should be some semblance. I don't expect expertise by any stretch, but I do expect that there's guidance provided and that they are following it per their bylaws. Thank you.
Okay, so I will call the question on Ms. Piernack's appointment. Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes?
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next, do you want to add an item, bifurcate an agenda, add that to the future agenda, the item?
I'll bring up, I'll work with Ms. Moore
For
to
next
develop
item.
policy changes for
Okay.
appointments.
Okay, awesome. Next item.
13C, request of the Human Resources Director for an additional appropriation of funds in the amount of $10,000 to cover contractual obligations for overtime due to the implementation of new onboarding and skills testing software. Consideration and adoption of a resolution. So moved.
Support Dwyer.
Ms. Moore and Noonan support. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes?
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 13D, request of the Parks and Recreation Department for an additional appropriation of funds in the amount of $78,351 to cover the cost of updating the Parks and Recreation Master Plan. Consideration and adoption of a resolution. So moved.
Support Lafferty.
Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes?
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item, Mr. Spiller, do you need this to be do you need this by tomorrow, or it can wait till the reconsideration period on Friday?
For this motion?
Yeah.
As long as we get the contract signed and get Spartan and Decker on contract.
Do you need it before Friday?
No.
Okay, I know you did mention to me that there was some.
It's a timing thing. You
Right.
just want to give the company enough
Got
time to successfully do this
Okay,
process.
okay.
I think so.
Did C? We did.
We
See?
did?
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, so, yeah, D, it's Moore and Lafferty on D.
Okay. question on D, no?
You did.
Oh, we did, okay.
We just voted.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, then 13E is request to approve RFPW 1733, recommendation to award a contract to furnish an updated five-year recreation master plan for the city of Warren to Spalding DeDecker Associates, Inc., in an amount not to exceed $78,351, consideration and adoption of a resolution. So moved.
Support Lafferty.
Any discussion?
Yes, please.
Mr. Noonan?
Thank you. I'll be voting no, because we should have a climate action plan before we do these plans. The climate is changing in extreme ways. A bomb cyclone, for instance, is hitting New York, it just hit New York City, could hit the, what used to be adequate standards may not be adequate standards going forward. We should be adapting and changing and being forward-thinking. Thank you.
Madam Chair?
Ms. Moore?
I believe that we have to have this master plan in place to be eligible for funding, for grant funding and things like that, if I remember in the past.
Correct. By February 1st of 2027, if we're not submitted to the state and approved, we would not be eligible for grant funding for 5 years.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Okay, hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
No?
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Rogan C is yes. Motion carries. Next item.
13F, request of the Public Services Administration Supervisor for a line item transfer between general fund ledger account numbers in the amount of $20,000 to cover additional costs associated with the rehabilitation of city-owned property at 14217 East 9 Mile for operating equipment and repairs contingency, consideration and adoption of a resolution. So moved.
Support Dwyer.
Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Yes.
Rogan C is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Next item is 13G, notice of reappointment of Rita Schutran and Aaron Schutran to the Commission on Disabilities with a term expiration of February 28, 2029.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Okay.
Discussion?
Discussion, Ms. Moore.
Thank you. I did a little background on this commission, and I noticed that the ordinance says that there are to be 7 members, and they shall serve for staggered 3-year terms. The city website on the Commission on Disabilities says there should be 6 members, and they serve 1-year terms. And one of the things that I've noticed is that they have a problem holding meetings once a month, and so the ordinance says the Commission on Disability shall hold meetings regularly at least once a month. I think we should change that ordinance and make it to be at least quarterly. They could have one every month, but that wouldn't be a mandate for them, that if they met quarterly, that would satisfy the ordinance. And the general duties, it's review and recommend to the mayor and council the development of programs and practices that will improve inclusion to city services and facilities for persons with disabilities. That was 1. I don't remember anything coming over from the Commission on Disabilities since 2003, where they recommended and sent over to council, and we did the TTY at the time. And they came over to this building and recommended to us that we change the pressure to, the doors were too heavy to be open. The second duty is advise the city on compliance with federal and state regulations and legal developments affecting city accessibility to disabled persons. Provide city departments, boards, and commissions with information on state and federal laws and regulations. I don't think they've done any of that. And I'm not sure there's anybody on the commission that's qualified to do that. Ms. Murphy can do that, but she's not a member of the board. Also, the other one, provide information and recommendations to the mayor and council on improvements to city services, facilities, and practices to more effectively attain the goals of compliance with the Americans with Disability Act and enhanced inclusion. I've not seen any of that. There are two other duties. One is address issues as the mayor from time to time requests pertaining to the city's accessibility to services and compliance with federal and state regulations. I can't answer that. I don't know if that commission has advised the mayor. And then the fifth, encourage and promote better communication and a greater understanding of persons with disabilities among the community and city employees, officers, boards, and commissions. I believe they do that with the community occasionally, once a year or something. I'm not sure if they do it with city employees, officers, boards, or commissions. So I think we either have to rethink the entire board and have experts be appointed to that board, experts in ADA. One of the most knowledgeable people in the city on ADA that's a layperson is Tony Baker. He applied and he was not put on there, which was a mistake, in my opinion. So I think we need to look and redo and rewrite this ordinance because it's not being followed. 3 out of the 5 mandates for this commission are not being followed at all. So I think that we should look at redoing that commission and make it just an advisory group that does events, because if they're not doing the other things. And we should have, the website should have, it was formed in 2001, okay. But the city website should be changed to follow the ordinance. And there's some things with the beautification. All the commissions I kind of started looking at, and I'm seeing some mistakes, but I think that, I was first going to be critical of this appointment because these things have not been satisfied in over 20 years, and we've had the same chairperson of the commission. But I don't think that you can expect a layperson to be performing these sort of duties, to be up to date on all the laws. Some of the people in the city that do this every day aren't up to date on, I don't mean you, Miss Murphy. Is that Miss Murphy? You're so far away.
Yeah.
Okay. With everybody together, I think they're figuring it out. But this is certainly not the responsibility of this group. And let's make it what it is and change the ordinance to reflect what they are supposed to be doing. Because we're expecting way too much out of people, and especially people that have disabilities and some might not be able to do certain things that other folks could do. So I just think we need to redo that, and then I would have no problem with these reappointments because I don't want to be critical of people that do not have the ability to perform under this sort of these requirements. So that's where I'm at on
Madam
that.
President, please put me on the list.
Really, Ms. McGee and then Mr. Noonan. Ms. Moore, are you suggesting that maybe these items, those two, be tabled until this is updated?
No,
you're not.
No, I don't think it matters if the mayor wants, if this is what the mayor wants out of the commission, but let's make them not following the ordinance, right?
Yep, okay, thank you. Ms. McGee and then Mr. Noonan.
Ms. Rita Shulman turned in some information of all the things that they had done and inputted while on the commission, and which she had done quite a bit. And I'm in agreement with you. If it's their list of requirements that they have to know, we need to make sure that we submit that to them so that they can get those things done. And they may be experienced with it, or maybe know how to do it, or they may not. And if the attorney can help us with that, we can make sure that we can get that done. I lost my train of thought.
I can come back.
I was going to ask you about as far as people. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. I don't think we have enough people lining up to be on this commission because they're not showing up. I asked the question of how many of our residents had applied
to be on the disability committee. And you're not getting those that apply, and maybe because they don't know enough. And that's one of my biggest concerns about, you know, if we decided to deny for this commitment for them to get back on reappointed, that we wouldn't have enough people to have the commission. So I wanted to express my concern.
Thank you. Mr. Noonan?
Yes, Ms. Murphy, would you mind? The reason why I'm asking you to come forward is because I think you might have some ideas on the items that Ms. Moore suggested. I think that she's being really insightful and creative about this, about the situation. But to demand that people do things that they cannot or will not do, I don't know. How would we have a meaningful disabilities commission? I guess would be what I'm after.
I 100% agree that the ordinance should be amended. I looked it over this afternoon as well, and when I saw and I hadn't looked it over in a while, and when I saw the section saying advise the city officials about ADA, federal and state regulations, usually that's the prerogative of the attorney's office, and it would be a little concerning to me if a member of the Disabilities Commission that was a lay person is advising city employees how they should be handling ADA issues. I think that is certainly a function of the city attorney's office, so I'd definitely be in support of taking something like that out. Now maybe consulting with the attorney's office about ADA regulations and developments, certainly, but I agree. I think that now we have 7 members, and so I know for a while we were struggling. A quorum is 3, and we were very much struggling to get those 3 for a variety of reasons, but because we only had 3 members on the commission. We now have 7, so I'm hoping that meetings can take place at a more regular basis. So, I mean, I agree that the ordinance definitely needs to be amended. It is a more informal committee or commission. We have done with them, they've done several things that I don't know necessarily have been conveyed to you guys, but they are working with the 37th District Court on designing the new ADA compliance for the new building, so that they had many meetings with the architect as well as Nekatari Ross about that. She brought that in, brought them into that, as well as I think the library director came to our last meeting talking about some coordination with the Library for the Blind, as well as some other ADA related issues. And the new library director also had some personal connections. That's what I find a lot with employees is they come in and they start talking about, you know, my brother, my sister, my mother have issues. So, but I know that the Commission on Disabilities has gotten sort of a bad rap, and it has had some issues certainly. But I think we're hopefully turning over a new leaf and getting some administrative support as well. I think they might come to you for some, potentially for some purchases, for some materials, and so getting things going.
I'm thinking that if there were an expert that could be hired who could work as an administrator to do those things that were the tasks that the city has felt the commission should do, but that they haven't been done, that haven't been doing, it might be worth trying to hire someone, because it seems like to expect one of the city lawyers to do all that on top of whatever a city lawyer is asked to do in the way of prosecutions, rewriting ordinances, and so forth, doesn't seem like a good use of lawyers' time. Would it have to be a lawyer that was hired if that was to be done? I have a lot of questions around that, but I would like the ADA transition plan and other disabilities questions be well resolved in our city so that people with disabilities, especially, everyone's going to get disabled eventually as seniors. I would really like to see that move forward smoothly, and so I'm looking forward to maybe not tonight, but pretty soon, you're helping us to come up with that, how we should be going, because it doesn't seem real clear to me. We have something that's not working now. Other cities might have something that's working great. I don't know, probably this is something that the city council would need to direct the legal office to work on, or maybe we could turn it over to Mr. Schroeder to come up with something great. But anyways, I think that's it for me. I'll yield.
Thank you.
Are you trying to fire me? Councilman Newman?
No.
Okay, just curious. I am, at this point, I'm the ADA coordinator. So.
Right. Well, also I was wondering, actually, I said I yielded, but I take my hand back on the pawn. That's a chess thing. I made a mistake. But it says that, you are the person to go to. But it seems like it should be you or someone, other designee appointed by the, from the law office in case you're like on vacation. I don't think you ever take vacations, so maybe we don't need to worry about that.
Absolutely not. There every day.
But maybe it should have been worded differently instead of just you.
Well, there is.
If
I'm on vacation, like our ADA email goes to the legal department for someone else to handle. I know that the HR director also gets most of the emails as well.
Okay. Oh, that's true. The email is generic, yeah. Yes. Okay. Hey, thanks a lot.
All right, thank you.
Okay, I will call the question.
Madam Chair?
Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Mr. Levy.
Thank you. And I wanted to mention, attendance is always a big issue for me. I've said it before, I'll say it again. When you are appointed to a board or commission, you are expected to be there and perform your duties. I happen to agree with changing the ordinance for how many meetings per year are required. Parks and Rec asked us to change the ordinance mid-last year to quarterly. They can meet more often if they need to, but at least quarterly. On our agenda, Cultural Commission 4L is same request to change to quarterly. So I think that is a very reasonable request, but just for purposes of awareness, July, August, November, and December of 2024, all 4 of those meetings were canceled due to not having a quorum. And this past year, February, July, and December 25 were all canceled due to a lack of quorum. So I don't want to undercut the commission due to it not having enough members to be sufficient and to meet quorum, but at the same time, we're very critical of others. We should be equally critical of all and be consistent in applying that warning to all commissioners. If you are going to take this role, if you are seeking reappointment, you are making a commitment that you are going to show up and do the job. And if this commission, if they agree that quarterly works for them and they can commit to 4 meetings a year, and we see the changes based on the policies and the mission statements of this organization, as Ms. Moore earlier edified, then I think we may have a work in progress, and I'm willing to support this with those conditions. Thank you.
Madam Chair?
Ms. Moore, and then I'm calling the question.
One of the things that is concerning to some people, and we get a lot, I don't know how many Mary gets in the office, but I get called all the time or emails from people who and I got a copy of a letter that comes from the administration telling them they are to come to the council meeting and talk at audience. And a lot of people are very, very uncomfortable with that. And I think that is really unfair to make anyone, if we have questions, it's up to us to make a phone call if we have questions. Or, you know, we table it and then follow up later. Because, look, we all get busy. We can't look at every inch of every agenda item. But I think it's really, really unfair to expect people to come. It's very intimidating for people that aren't used to it to stand down there and talk to us up on high here, which I don't like the position, like we're lording over everybody, and with everybody behind them. I don't like people standing behind me either. I wouldn't never have this set up. I'd have it off to the side because I think it's just uncomfortable. So I think that people should know you do not have to come and speak at audience to be approved for a commission. We welcome, and we want everybody to feel welcome applying and not feel that they need to do that. But that's just my 2 cents.
Agreed.
Thank you.
Okay, I will call the question. Ms. McGee?
Yes.
Mr. Noonan?
Yes.
Mr. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Ms. Moore? Rogan C. is a yes. Motion carries. Next item.
Audience for general topics.
Members of the audience who would like to address City Council this evening may do so under this audience portion by filling out a form to the right. This is for general audience. First is Rob Roberts. Are you still here, sir? Excellent. Okay. After that is Lori Harris. Yeah, no worries.
Of everybody.
It is.
You have 3 minutes.
Start over. Hello.
Just let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay.
On 12/19.
Oh, you have, speak into the microphone. It's just, or move the microphone towards you. There you go.
Okay. Is that better? Rob Roberts, 32125 St. Vincent. On 12/19/2025, I was on my way to the Secretary of State for a 9:40 appointment. I accidentally said 12:40 on the body cam video. I think everyone saw the police officer and slowed way down. I didn't and was going the speed limit. This may be why he thought I was speeding, or he doesn't like electric vehicles because he made a comment about it causing me to speed. They have speedometers. After I told him I wasn't speeding, he said I was driving too fast for road conditions and didn't use my turn signals twice on the ticket, contradicting himself on body cam, admitting I did use my turn signal. The roads were good. I ordered the body cam and cruiser video for $56 because of several lies. In court, while we were under oath, the officer perjured himself, telling even more lies, saying I was highly argumentative, I am now, and I didn't stop at the red light. Because of the lie on the ticket, I had the video queued to 1 minute 35 seconds, which also showed I stopped. The magistrate refused the video to prove it or whether I was argumentative. The officer told me we could look at the video in court, another lie. I paid the 2 tickets to appeal at the courthouse. Leah, Caitlin, and others working the office are very kind. One court security officer wasn't. He yelled and lunged at me because of me standing on the wrong side of the red line, instead of walking up to me and telling me, since there were no signs mentioning the red line. After asking and figuring out if he was talking to me, I told him he needed to learn how to talk to people, and he had an attitude problem. His intent was to intimidate and humiliate. He said I was the one with the attitude problem, and that's why I was there. Is this how people are treated regularly? Mayor Stone said I shouldn't let this taint my almost 20 years of being a resident, but it's pretty tainted for the first time I've had to deal with something like this. I don't know if it's a coincidence, but most people paying tickets were disproportionately black for our population. We may need to look at that. Mayor Stone said that I should wait for investigation before I blast names, which I was prepared to do. A mutual friend of the mayor's and mine who works for Warren Schools happens to commute in the area and took a picture 12/19 saying the roads were good all day. I also had pictures which were ignored When I talked to the mayor, I said, her
You have 10
aunt
seconds.
is in a unique position to investigate my honesty since we've worked together in the same school district. In my filed complaint, I'm seeking for the removal of the officer because we can't trust an officer who doesn't
You're
tell
at-
the truth, especially when
You're at
one
time.
who perjures
Thank you.
themselves under oath.
Thank you. Ms. Harris, and then Carl Martin Henley, and then Wesley Arnold.
Hi there. I went through all of the agendas from the time that Lori Stone was elected, every agenda. And I wrote down the names of all the people that were appointed to commissions and the dates that they were, their expiration dates, so to speak. So the one thing I want to point out is that there were not 100 people appointed. There were 54 reappointments and 67 new appointments. Now, also with these numbers, for example, on the Planning Commission, which is a very important commission, there are 3 commissioners whose times of service expired in '22 and 2 of them in '23. So they have not been reappointed. I'm not sure why. On the website, they're the only commissions, and I know that the council has asked this, that all the dates be listed on the website of expiration of these terms, is planning and zoning. Those are the only ones on the website. I also noticed that some people were appointed and then reappointed a year later. That doesn't make sense. If your appointment, so one was something that's already been taken care of. Tracy Allen was appointed to the Crime Commission on 9/24/24 with an expiration of 6/27. She was reappointed on 3/25/25 to the Crime Commission, expiration 6/28. Let's see, Ron Gerst, he was reappointed till 6/25, but he's still on TIFA. Mike Tyro was appointed, and I can't remember which commission, on 6/20, it expired on 6/25, and then he got reappointed only until 6/26. So the mayor claims she had no idea the process. Can it really take 8 months? Their very first appointment was 8 months after she got elected, was on 7/9/24. I think that there are people that are getting paid $80,000 a year as outreach coordinators that could have made a list and kept a good track of it and known what was going on. Like, I could do this. Look what I did. I mean, I already did. So this doesn't make sense that this is so hard.
You're at time. Thank
Oh
you.
my gosh, I'm already at time.
Have a good one.
Well, I'm going to put this on the City of Warren political page. Thank you.
Next is Carl Martin Henley, and then Wesley Arnold.
Good evening, Council. Warren Parks and Recreation has had wonderful workers, thousands of them since the early 1970s. The person I'm speaking about tonight is the single most important employee in Warren Parks and Recreation history. I could be talking about none other than Paula DeForti. Paula is a pioneer and a trailblazer for women's sports and girls' recreation. She's a legendary icon. She did more for getting kids to participate in athletics, especially young girls, than any 5 persons I ever knew at Parks and Recreation. Paula DeForti could initiate, innovate, delegate, motivate. She served 3 directors, 5 mayors, and 9 presidents. 40 years plus Parks and Recreation commitment to excellence. Before Title IX, ladies, there was Paula DeForti. She handled everything with grace and class. Professionalism was what she provided every day. When Don Latshaw was sick, she covered for him. When John Grassi and Jack Bellamo turned all our parks into softball city, Paula handled those guys too, with pride and distinction. She was always looking forward to Warren's Parks and Recreation Department's future, not the past. She would not like this speech. Paula was a treasure. Paula was great with people. She was a real mentor. She did great things for residents and kids. She was simply unsurpassed. After-school gyms, 8-week summer program, CETA workers, the romantics at Helmich Park, buses to Warren tournaments every week, Hershey's track and field, the Pepsi Hot Shot. I had 7 kids from Steinhauser Park shot at the Silverdome because of Paula the 40. Mark the Bird Fidrich. We packed 130 kids on about 3 buses. Paula the 40 made it all happen. I retired in '86 from Warren Parks and Recreation. In '97, I was coaching Braylon Edwards and the great UD Jesuit Cubs. I asked Paula the 40 for one last favor 11 years later. Please, Paula, give me some parachutes. She never let a kid down. If Paula the 40 would have been a man, she would have been Parks and Rec Director. I'm imploring the Warren City Council to celebrate her career. She's still very much alive. A day of reckoning, an honorarium, a plaque, something to let her know how much the City of Warren and the Warren City Council appreciate her. She wasn't just some arts and crafts lady. She was the straw that stirred the drink and the ever-present voice of reason, compassion, and love for the City of Warren and their Parks and Recreation Department. Everybody, let's pull on the same rope one time in the same direction. Let's make this happen. Let's get Paula the 40 some kind of recognition. Remember, ladies, without Paula the 40, some of you may not have even been up there. Thank you. Good night, Council.
Thank you. Wesley Arnold.
I'm running a fast
Okay, I am Wesley Arnold, also known as the Warren Historian, because I've been around 83 years. Writing down Warren history. My website's got about 4,000 to 8,000 pictures. I've lost count, but 30,000 pictures total on that warrenhistory.fyi website. If anybody wants to look at Warren history, it's there. I think from observation, this council is very diligent. You know, you can see that tonight, for example. I think this is the best city council that we've ever had. And I've been around a long time. I remember when Steele, never mind. Yeah, I could talk all night. Thank you very much for your time and dedication. I hope they do not put me in prison, I'm not kidding, for revealing some of the secrets that I put in that valuable secret book. Some of that stuff was highly classified. I did a lot of due diligence, and I think I'm clear on everything. I'm talking about my little book on valuable secrets, which is also free on the warrenhistory.fyi website. City Council, please read that free book because it's got some really important stuff that you need to know about. Okay, last topic, drones. Some new developments. I ordered something yesterday and I was told I could have it in an hour and 15 minutes because I'm close to Hazel Park by drone. And these drones are going to be a big deal because they are now offering very fast service, some of it even free for delivery, even where you want it, even in your backyard or where you want it. And this is on right now. City Council, take a look at Amazon Air Prime for the details. That's on the Amazon website. And I have ordered a high-power ATL 36X arriving shortly, which I hope to actually used to shoot the President of the United States. I'm not kidding. This is
Mr. Arnold.
A very high, powerful item, and it's great for a headshot at a distance. And I didn't want it to be delivered by drone, because I wouldn't want something like that to be in the wrong hands. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Captain Hodis, can you?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just threaten the,
Yeah.
that's a federal offense.
Thank you. Yeah. End of audience.
Reaction to audience by council members?
Don't have any words.
Yeah. Okay.
Motion to adjourn?
Support?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned.